It's been exactly 3 years since I launched my online coaching business, which means it's been 3 years since I completely rebuilt my life. So many incredible things have happened since then that I never, ever thought could, because 3 years ago, I was the most miserable I've ever been. Most of my days were spent binge eating and drinking alone in my room in order to cope with the fact that I was so unhappy. I was working as a PT in a gym at the time and living in a house share. And because I was leaning into unhealthy habits, I was constantly inflamed, and I blinked and I'd gained 15 kilograms. Obviously, this was very embarrassing for me to admit at the time whenever you work in the fitness industry. So I struggled in silence until I could not pay my rent and I had to move home and change my life. So I did, brick by brick. I started going and doing my workouts again. I got a job in a pub and I focused on really small habit changes, like going for walks every single day that I knew I could sustain long term. I qualified as a Pilates instructor and filmed my classes in a storage unit, lol. Before I knew it, I started to feel myself again. Once I was able to completely transform my health, everything else in my life seemed to slot into place. I went from not being able to pay my rent to becoming a solo homeowner. I feel better at 32 than I ever did in my teens or my 20s. So if the past 3 years were all about rebuilding, the next 3 are about definition. And not just defining my body, it's about defining exactly the person I want to be throughout my 30s and beyond. So if the past era was about climbing the mountain, the next is going to be about sculpting the rock at the top. I'm so excited to continue to become the best version of myself and help you do the same.